You know it's a real sin? Paying for 5 different streaming services and still not being able to watch Mallrats because it's not available in my region. That's where Surfshark comes in. By using Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video, you can virtually hop over to a different country, like the UK or Canada, and instantly unlock a Kevin Smith movie or thousands of other new titles that are geo-blocked back home. It's like giving your streaming library a massive free upgrade without actually paying for a new subscription. But Surfshark isn't just for binging new Love is Blind UK episodes. They have a whole suite of security features like Clean Web, which blocks those annoying ad trackers and malicious links, and Alternative ID, which lets you create a brand new online persona, and email so your real info stays off the sketchy parts of the internet. So stop sinning against your own entertainment budget. Get a 7-day free trial plus 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN with my exclusive deal. Go to surfshark.com/cinemafree or use code CINEMAFREE at checkout. It's totally risk-free and your watch list will thank you.
Some movies really will share an entire opening mythology just to preempt nitpickers saying, why is the possessed monkey afraid of water? And that movie should not be catering to people who don't know the difference between a chimp and a monkey. Also, rabies doesn't literally drive them crazy. It literally causes them to avoid water at all costs because of the rabies-induced pain associated with drinking. Overusing literally is literally the reason it barely means literally anymore. Also, 20 seconds of rabieding.
Hey, Ben. Doc Lambert here.
Doc Lambert is a plot-advancing dick to closing and resecuring cage doors that were closed and secured for a reason.
Okay, Doc's orders. Hug the bear.
My college girlfriend's nightly demands somehow make it into the script. Also, I see this movie went to the Dan Stevens and Kong X Godzilla school of attending the Ace Ventura Veterinarian School of dressing in bright Hawaiian shirt things.
Come on, pal.
Approaching an afraid animal, rabbit or not, while they're hiding in a dark hole seems like the quickest way to enter your shopping for fun eye patch options era. Barely getting to call yourself a feature-length film by including 30 seconds of vaguely news-positional TV-style opening credits. Lazy horror movie doesn't know how to build tension or grab an audience without starting in the middle of a movie cliche.
Cute little guy, huh?
Discount Chris Kattan here never once goes full Mr. Peepers in this scene.
Wait, so am I even gonna see him at all this summer?
Question is, am I gonna see you this summer?
No, the question is, why is every single character outside Troy Kotzer in this movie a basic Gen Z stereotype that I can barely tell apart, and won't care about a single one of them when a rabid hominid pulls random body parts off of them? Or more succinctly, when did we stop breakfast clubbing our casts, and why?
You got me, girl. Okay.
Purposely putting yourself at the top of the definitely not surviving this movie list.
What's up, bitches?
Almost missing your flight because you had to arrive this late in the boarding process to facilitate a surprise reveal to an audience you shouldn't know about and likely doesn't care anyway.
So I kind of invited her to stay with me this summer.
Really? Thank you.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
And she's standing a foot from us while I say this apologetically and indicate to the audience that you don't like her, cool? I hate how planes don't land pointing straight forward. I know it's physics or some shit, but I hate it, and it will be sinned.
Wait, did you say your dad's gonna be out of town?
Yeah?
Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking?
Well, if you're thinking that it's crazy that more than 50 years later, after slasher films already made it a cliche, horror movies are still relying on the teenager's party and must be punished for their sin setup, then yes.
So, I've got you a meeting with Walter Friedkin.
Who the is Walter Friedkin? William Friedkin of The Exorcist and The French Connection fame died in 2023. So it's not that Friedkin, unless it's an homage, which is weird considering they are talking about making movies on this call. Why not homage him in some other way? Or use his actual f***ing name? Or if it's nothing to do with William Friedkin, don't use the name Friedkin. Yes, this is the shit that keeps me up at night. Movie forgets that if it wants to do a parent-child connections trope, it has to take time to show us why we care about their relationship in any meaningful way.
This is Hannah.
She's signing she's here to be an extra human meat-sickle for your pet death machine to rip apart later in the movie incorrectly.
He says he's sorry.
Nick should know this is bullshit, considering the thing Lucy just signed looks nothing like the thing her dad actually signed.
It's fine.
Yeah, it really sucks that he has to leave and make a load of money so that you can enjoy this incredible mountainside beach house with an infinity pool. Based on the rocket ship, Dreamcatcher, smiley faces, moon and Nintendo Switch, I'd say the prompt for the set decorator was nothing more specific than ungendered kids room.
Look, I'm doing so much better than you.
The only thing worse than a backseat driver is a hands-on side street Mario Kart driver. This is psycho behavior. Are we supposed to like Lucy? Send a blue shell her way and let's be done with it. The random nature of the icons on this pad suggests that it's most likely a page of frequently used words. So the fact that bad is up here and good is nowhere to be seen tells me there were plenty of red flags before the rabies hit.
You were gone forever.
Not understanding what the word forever means. You, I might eventually let go of literally, but you can pry forever from my cold dead hands.
It was lonely here.
Movie forgets that if it wants to do a sibling connections trope, it has to take time to show us why we care about their relationship in any meaningful way.
I brought this teddy for someone, but they probably won't want it.
Adopted or not, I'm gonna say it's not a good idea to allow the chimp to hang out unsupervised in your daughter's room. Oh, he's wearing a cute t-shirt. Never mind.
Kate brought a friend. Wanna have some fun?
Yeah, nothing says legitimate part of the family like, hey, let's use you as part of a cheap jump scare that could result in a wild animal ripping off an appendage that you can in no way consent to being a part of. Earlier, Lucy said,
Wait till you see the view off the lanai. It's insane.
but I will not be moved from my understanding that lanais have to have a roof and resemble a closed-in room. So I guess what I'm saying is, no lanais detected.
What happened to Lucy's mom?
She says expositionally.
Oh, she died last year of cancer.
He responds using cancer as a shortcut to emotionally.
Take it for the jet lag.
Coming this close to making coitus on your friend's dead mom shrine. Hannah and Nick were wandering around the house because they couldn't sleep, meaning everyone has gone to bed. So who the f are all the lights for, and why is the damn fire pit still going? The chimp didn't kill them all. Sloppy fire practices definitely would have. The camera is telling us Ben is evil now. Please take note and have all appropriate changes of underwear ready.
Stop! Get off! Ow, Ben, you're hurting me!
Convenient Adam being up in the middle of the night and at the pool at the exact moment to whistle ex machina Ben's aggression is convenient.
Once again, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday!
Wait, who are those girls? Oh my god.
The 56 Insta betas that have double tapped this reacting to your dad dropping a bag of diseased and decaying wildlife on the kitchen table with vague shock, instead of signing, holy shit, Dad, what is wrong with you? Actually, Ben was bitten on his left arm, not his right. I'm not usually that pedantic, but I make a special exception for assholes who drop dead mongooses on the breakfast table. Also, the fact that the plural of mongoose isn't mongoose. Dr. Lambert is a vet, so I understand the antibiotics, but why the f is he responsible for cleaning the cage, too? Citation needed. The arrogance of pretending they built a house this close to an eroding cliffside and then putting 100 tons of water right at the edge instead of something more appropriate, like a lanai.
Are you gonna call those guys you met on the plane?
Lucy gets jealous that Hannah and Nick are flirting, so she mentions the plane dudes. And other than bringing up some more meat puppets to the house, none of this love triangle jealousy hookup will matter in the slightest.
We're all alone and waiting for you to come our brains out.
Me sitting back here taking my time thinking deeply about all the ins and outs of this sentence, because we're all alone is some grade A self-contradictory syntax. We can't be alone. That's the important point, right?
I can't get hold of Nick, and I won't be back until Tuesday.
Sorry, Mom. Phone died.
Kids.
So, it's okay if I do this.
Movie tries to squeeze this love triangle bullshit into this movie like my Uncle Frank tried to squeeze his love triangle into a Speedo on that Cozumel trip. In both cases, there's literally no reason for anyone to have to see this.
Hey, Ben. Doug Lambert here.
Previously on this movie 24 minutes ago. I'll put up with a certain amount of food waste, but leaving more than 2 pieces of pizza out all night? Dare you? Do you want rabbit chimps? Because this is how you get rabbit chimps. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. No, people, this is not what excitement looks like. Go outside, touch grass, sniff the air. Just stop scrolling on your damn phone. Unless you're watching YouTube. Rabbit chimp drags stuffed animal from its enclosure and sets it perfectly upright on the kitchen table before hiding elsewhere, as rabbit animals are known to do.
Ben? What's wrong?
He's finally fed up with waiting to kick the true horror action off, since he's had to sit through a solid 30% of the movie doing pointless setup.
That he would never hurt anyone.
Child, your father told you he needed to be locked away, and he was bitten. Am I supposed to believe that humans are so self-delusional they can convince themselves that anything is okay despite evidence to the contrary? Also not teaching your daughter that this Ben attack was always in the cards, with or without viral intervention.
What are we gonna do?
I think there's a rope in there. Let's tie him up.
There are 4 of you here, and having one person get a rope is the best you've got. How about you 3 head upstairs and call animal control immediately? Let them know that my dad mentioned he was acting strangely and had been bitten by a mongoose. Snag my sister, and then secure yourselves immediately. He knows me best, but if things go wrong, I can jump in the pool and wait for backup. No? Just the rope thing? Okay, cool. having a horror director program your noise-making toy. They are just going to have it set to be activated at the worst possible moment. They can't help themselves. Side note, also don't take it to a family comedy director. The off switch will suddenly stop working when you're at the end of your rope and trying to get ready for an important job interview. Why do we continue to let movie directors program these things? But make sure you do it in a way that foreshadows how deadly this fall is.
I'm just gonna put this over your head.
After somehow accomplishing a textbook "this works" and getting Ben tied up, these four still just stick around instead of securing themselves elsewhere.
My phone's charging in my room.
The funniest thing in this entire movie is the idea that only one of these 5 Gen Zers has their phone on them. I didn't realize this was a comedy.
You wanna shoot him?
Yes.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do with sick animals?
Yes.
Excuse me, your nasty little pet clearly needs to be put down.
He does. I'm sorry, but every time I see Ben do something tactical, like blocking off Hannah's exit, I laugh my ass off. Is your chip crazy and deranged, or on the first step to a Planet of the Apes? Because this kind of higher level planning does not fit the description of rabies you gave us up front.
Get in the pool! Ben can't swim!
I read the hydrophobia stuff at the beginning of the movie, and I think it applies now. If Erin is bleeding this badly, I'm not sure why the blood waited until she was this far out in the pool to start blooding for this cool overhead shot. From here on out, a large portion of this movie will feel like The Shallows, if The Shallows took place in a swimming pool and wasn't very good.
Ben has rabies. Does that mean I'm infected too?
Movie never pays this off, with Erin going full rabies zombie and killing Lucy in a surprise final twist just at the point that all seems well.
We're trapped in here. There's no way out.
The camera then confirms that there are in fact no surprise exits out of this swimming pool. Not entirely surprising, since it's a swimming pool. Screaming into the ocean for help instead of keeping an eye on the whereabouts of the killer rabies chimp that's trying to eat your face.
What are you doing?
I can push him over the edge.
Or you could splash his ass, with the substance you now know he's morbidly afraid of. I mean, it's at least worth trying before going hand to hand, right? Marcel never having the initiative to do this to Ross. Diving headfirst into being a graphic Final Destination type movie, but half-assing it and forgetting to bring the overall winking tone with you. Also, thus ends the very crucial love triangle part of this story. The rabid chimp is still acting like a very much not rabid chimp. Why is he patiently waiting for one of them to f*** up instead of continuing his path to insanity in the forest? Why is he fixated on the wettest people available instead of acting like a mad chimp? Floating, monkey, or floating, pool float, underwater legs, exposition? Actual footage of me trying to get the very last tube available at the lazy river without letting the snot-nosed 6-year-old across the pool see me somehow makes it into the movie. The movie doesn't include the 40 minutes of hyperventilation that it would take to actually inflate this mostly deflated pool float to human-worthy. Setting your phone ringer to jump scare mode.
Call 911. The screen must have broken when I dropped it. The keypad's not working.
Sure, but there are other ways to call the police. Most cell phones bring up an emergency screen when you press some combination of its physical buttons. At the next human meeting, can we all just agree as a society that all horror movies exist in a universe where the cell phone was never invented?
Try recent calls. It's ringing.
Or you could try returning the very recent call that was your mother trying to get through to you. But I suppose you think it's more satisfying to see these bros destroyed by a chimp than some poor middle-aged mom. Speak for yourself, movie.
It's ringing.
Redialing a recent call and having it automatically be in video call mode.
Listen to me. We need help.
Oh, you need some help? You need help getting laid? Send us the addy, fatty.
They already did. How are you not already on your way over here? Do you even college boner, bro?
Listen, you dumb we need help, okay? Send someone!
The 1-2 punch of required disbelief suspension that would allow for none of these young women to notice that Ben was climbing the pool lights, and for the pool lights to have been installed chimp weight ready. Also, who installs electrical cords over a pool for easy electrocution? People who deserve to be scalped by chimps, that's who.
Why is Ben doing this?
Better question, why are we suddenly no longer worried about keeping her leg elevated and out of the pool?
Dad.
Beating a dead button. Someone is clearly flexing their Google foo here because yes, Hawaii is considered to be the only rabies-free state in the country. But that doesn't mean rabies is 100% impossible, wise ass. Just extremely unlikely. And when it comes to there being any chance of the chimp that lives with my children having rabies, I'm following Batflex advice every time.
If we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty.
Also, the no rabies in Hawaii thing is an interesting anomaly that movie has zero interest in reckoning with. We will still have no clue how a rabid mongoose managed to get to Hawaii, let alone Ben's cage. But in a movie with precious little story to tell, that would have been an interesting thing to follow up on. Why wasn't this the entire message? If they're so confident that it can't be rabies, why not just say the mongoose is positive for rabies? That's weird. So we're retesting. No conversation needed, just how most of us like it. Movie names these 4 barely distinguishable cookie cutter ladies Hannah, Erin, Lucy, and Kate, which spells out Helk. And the reason that's important is because I'm bored. I'm calling bullshit that Kate silently crept out of the water in a way that currently on hyper alert listening for a rabid chimp Lucy wouldn't have heard. Also, I think I'd feel better if Kate stayed with my sister. I'm not sure I'd trust Hannah to look after my injured sister even without a bloody wound to the head affecting her concentration. These two will now head up these stairs without grabbing anything from the pool area to use as a weapon or containment. Don't you have those long-handled netted leaf remover things? Grab something! Thus concludes 1 full minute of ascending stairs. Thus concludes 1 full minute of walking across the Nautilus. Thus concludes 30 full seconds of opening and closing a door. You know what? Just show the meme and let's move on. Thank you. Programming your TV remote with a jump scare shortcut button. Also, why wouldn't you turn it off? Sure, the damage is done, but it's still annoying. Waiting patiently to see exactly which of the upstairs rooms Ben is in instead of grabbing the phone and getting the out of there before that knowledge is even relevant. It is a wild tactic to abandon the cell phone, run to the nearest closet, and pray that Ben has never seen Halloween. Everyone's seen Halloween. It's Rob Zombie's best movie. Getting so upset that Swiper hasn't stopped swiping by this joint that you throw a temper tantrum. I agree, Ben. It's a big plot hole, but it's just a cartoon, man. Have some chill. I learned a whole load of fun chimpanzee facts, and it turns out that I could give you a 22-minute video lecture just on how incredible their sense of smell is. They can tell specific clan members apart just by smelling their urine. Listen, these olfactory OGs sniff strangers instead of shaking hands. If you fart in a forest and no one's around, a chimp in Africa still smells it. All that to say, if Ben is this close to the girls, he 100% knows they're in that closet. Also, for anyone out there that's like, yeah, but they've been in the pool, so they probably don't smell like themselves right now. Great point. But it does mean they smell like the swimming pool, which Ben will also notice. The only way Ben backing off here makes sense is if he's with them, because he likes the taste of adrenaline in his meat. Ben will now desist from his full assault on this closet for no other reason than that the script needed to turn the page.
Lucy. Bad.
Not having the auditory spatial awareness to know when sounds are coming from above you, not beside you. Also, again, not the actions of an insane animal. These are the actions of Hannibal Lecter. Stopping to watch the killer animal pursuing you try to figure out a door instead of getting your ass back to the pool. Letting someone knock 3 times without answering the door when they can clearly see that you're home. This is how society crumbles. Ben! Expecting me to feel some sort of way about this. Also, no. Still not shown a single second of splashing Ben.
What are you doing?
There are ways to leave this meeting without blowing the entire deal. Like, I have a family emergency, or there's a suspected breaking and entering at my house. Literally anything that isn't walking out of the meeting with no explanation. I mean, what good is surviving a killer chimp attack if you can't afford to live in the luxury house with a not lanai afterwards?
Don't blow this.
Me attempting to use reverse psychology on my college girlfriend somehow makes its way into the script.
My dad loves those books.
Entering the home without someone letting you in, making fun of a death author's books, belching. This movie might as well just materialize a puppy out of thin air so these dude bros can kick it and we can get on with the obvious grist milling.
You check downstairs.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going upstairs. Probably waiting for us in their bedroom.
Being the kind of bro who happily lets his bro check out the hot girls' bedrooms while your ass investigates the basement. Brad might be the real MVP here.
Beware.
It's now 3 minutes later, and the movie has yet to get on with the obvious grist milling.
Who the has a pet chimp?
Michael Jackson. Better question, who the has a photo frame that looks like it was made out of corn on the cob?
Good boy.
Assuming gender and temperament.
Back up, man.
Does rabies have an effect where it makes the animals that have it aware they are in horror movies? Because Ben here is still playing all the hits, slowly approaching his kills, appearing and disappearing in a blink, toying with victims. Who knew rabies was such a tease?
Yeah? You want it? All right, okay. Fetch, go get it.
Can I tell you the one thing I'm not jangling in front of the terrifying wild animal and then throwing away as a distraction? The keys to my getaway car.
Whoa, Donkey Kong. You are freakishly strong.
Hiding excerpts from your Nintendo fanfic stories in your major motion picture. The 20 seconds it takes our heroes to act knowing that Ben is preoccupied with killing random dumb horny dude number 2 is exactly 20 seconds longer than makes any sense. Also, what the is Lucy doing? Hanging in the pool watching her tights? And I'm not buying that she's keeping Erin safe, because in a few minutes she leaves her all alone anyway. Not being able to run and dial 911 at the same time.
Miss, who is trying to kill you?
I'd be less offended by this nonsense if the movie wasn't trying to subtly insinuate that the reason he knows how to do this is because random dumb horny dude number 1 taught him how before Ben removed the lower half of his face. Oh, you, movie. The rabid chimp didn't kill a girl, leave the car, close the door, and then alarm the car. He just didn't, okay? You're being too cute for your own good based on the fact that he's meant to be insane. I can't guarantee that's the same piece of glass from earlier, but if it were, Chekhov would be proud. And pride is a sin. Sure, sit your ass down in more glass as you remove that slightly larger piece of glass. That way you can just pick it all out at the same time. If there's a strange car in my front yard, I feel like I'm checking it out. Sorry if I sound grumpy. I'm sure I'd be enjoying this movie a lot more if I could see a single lumen of it. Ben tries to pull the same finishing move on Lucy that he did on Random Dumb Horny Dude #1, as if he's excited about joining the Mortal Kombat franchise or building his own brand. Movies love nothing more than to end with a fall from a cliff that results in a last-second rescue grab. I have to say, though, it loses some impact when it's a one-story fall. I think this is the part where we're supposed to cheer that Ben, the movie's villain, is dead, which sucks because he wasn't out here looking to get bit by a rabbit anything. He got bit, displayed the symptoms common with rabies, and was then beaten to death with a shovel by his adopted sister. Oh no, his blood is escaping. Catch it quick before it turns into a sequel. Skip.
Bad. Lucy.
If you put 100 chimps in a room with 100 typewriters, they'd eventually write the collected works of Shakespeare, but not before they write an infinite number of endings to this movie that are more satisfying than this random-ass cop randomly pressing these f***ing buttons to scare the shit out of Lucy. In fact, I'm pretty sure we could knock it out with a notepad and a single rabid mongoose.
I'd like to take his face off.